placement would make a lot more sense from that mindset, and I think that's how he would be thinking about the Liquid match. Whereas, so as far as VirtusPro goes, lately from their results and stuff, they are actually getting better and better, and they've been switching up roles a lot. I've noticed, like we're still seeing a lot more AWPing from Snax. That's not really something he ever really did all that much, but I'm starting to see it make sense from some of the new roles that he's playing, and it's freed up Neo to be less of a support in some maps, and we're reminded that Neo is actually a sick player as well. So we are jumping into the pistol, it would seem, though. So standard outside push so far from eLevate. Trying to get their way down to secret. So this is a pretty standard pistol opening so far from eLevate.
Yeah, and they got down pretty much uncontended. We don't have the graphics for the HPs, but it seems like they only lost like maximum of 30 HP.
Well, here we go. Got some nades in here to try to slow VirtusPro down, but they know what's happened. They saw all of the lineup go down to lower. So VirtusPro already here with the entire team to try to stop this bomb from going down. And how can eLevate get themselves with that bomb planted on the lower side? TaZ ready with some flashes there to support, and they still having trouble getting the bomb down, but finally it will be planted by Storm there. eLevate just have to try to fend off these Polish players. They are dwindling the numbers here for VirtusPro. TaZ and Snax left over. Snax going to go down. TaZ playing straight into the site now, and he's going to go down as well. So Storm going to win it there for his team. eLevate will win that pistol round, and I mean, they knew VirtusPro knew what was going on. eLevate knew what was going on, but eLevate still came out on top there.
Yeah, and you can see that they had a really set strat there. We actually see a pause here coming in. Yeah, but as I was saying, they had a really set strat. They used 3 smokes, I think. They smoked both sides of ramp, and I even think they threw a smoke towards the vents. So that means they had at least 3 guys without armor, and that's, I mean, going down secrets, I would say that's kind of risky because you usually expect to like one guy to get killed when you're running across the yard, but they just got down very easily through the smokes and won it from there.
Yeah, it's a very important round. As again, they're really looking at that CT side and they're saying we have to win both pistols. Basically, that's more or less what they're saying. I mean, of course, something some people I think would tend to overlook is that Counter-Strike by nature is about risk-taking. It's about gambling. It's about understanding what's efficient. I mean, I think there are loads of crossovers with poker there. So I really like comparing the two in that sense. And I think eLevate have taken the right risks, not only in the veto, but in the way that they've approached their T side here. Like you said, they went for a pretty risky kind of set play, but having everyone survive allowed for them to actually have a really strong chance to make it with all the smokes and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And they had 3 smokes and they didn't use a single one on yard, and that's like very cocky,
Yeah.
to be honest. It's just like complete YOLO down to secret, and it's like worked out.
So the luck is with eLevate to begin with. A bit of luck added onto their good decision making, and they are going to pick up the pistol round. We're back into the match now as VirtusPro looks like they have gone for PT50 armor or pistol armor, so they have fully invested in this round. You can see at the top there as well that they've got 8k invested into this one. eLevate going to be running in with the SMGs, and you'll see an AK there as well. It's a bit of a mix of weapons. Snax though up from secret. There's a quick connection to the head of Storm. Now he's going to fall back, and he spotted the majority of the players, so Snax is just holding things down well so far, but eLevate going to even things up. Now how much more damage can be done by Snax? Now, how do they approach this? They're kind of locked out of secret now. They can't go further down into the control room, and TaZ is going to push this. desi is waiting. As TaZ going to find the angle. Wow, TaZ is going to get a shot onto desi. That is a disaster now for eLevate. How do they save this round?
Yeah, they just look so scattered right now.
Rocket is up quick though into the upper bomb site. He's going to find one frag. There's a nice correction there onto the second player. And it looks like it's all on TaZ. He's got full armor and an AK. He's very dangerous at this point. Rock is on 2 HP. TaZ has no kit, so... But
and this is smart. He's going to drop down... No, he's actually not going to drop down the bomb. He's going to go down himself.
Well, he makes the noise, but that was the weak player, and Rocker... Oh, it's going to be Rush able just barely to take the fight. 5 HP remaining. Oh, that's a very close one indeed. And VirtusPro going to have to go for the full eco.
And eLevate just looked way too scattered right there. I mean, they had a 1-for-1 trade on yard, which is expected when you're trying to go down secret. I just would like them to go at least 3 people together, like just push down secret. They made it way too complicated, like leaving one guy in secret, like pushing garage, and I don't know what they were trying to achieve.
Yeah, well, it's just a few PT50s here from VirtusPro. They can definitely get some damage done with these though, and eLevate taking slow map control outside. We've got Xp3 slowly and steadily pushing it. He's got some teammates with him as well, and you've got to be careful that you don't give away weapons in a situation like this, and they're sticking together to avoid that. And VirtusPro just staying on the close ranges is pretty standard, to be honest, at the moment.
Yeah, we're gonna see TaZ making the first shot, and Neo will probably just jump forward and see TaZ going down there. I think they are expecting them to go down secret here in a second.
Yeah, they got a lot of info, and pasha's in a really sneaky position. He might be able to capitalize and convert into a frag or 2. There's desi. He's going to spot 1. He might not shoot straight away. He wants to try and see how much information he can collect first. Desi's going to turn around. He's going to quickly pop pasha. Pasha waited a little bit too long, and it's going to be just 2 men. 1 man now left standing here. It's going to be Snax. Oh, wow! That turnaround from Roca. That was a bit panicky, but it did the job. 3-0.
And a flawless round here from eLevate. And I mean, if eLevate, I mean, they don't have to win this round now. They can like lose it as long as they kill at least like 2 to 3 Virtus players. So I think eLevate might have a good chance if they can force Virtus some more ecos on this first half.
Okay, well, it would be really cool to see them go outside, actually, try to take some of those open angels with those AKs. Definitely a bit favorable for them. But yeah, it looks like they are trying to do that, but an aggressive smoke there from VirtusPro to give them some more presence outside. They got 3 players, so perhaps they were anticipating that outside movement, knowing the situation, the kind of buy that eLevate would have, and the fact that there's no grenades for VirtusPro. So they are trying to get ahead of things, trying to stay a step ahead, but it's not turning into a frag just yet. Good damage though, and the frag will eventually come. Pasha finds Rush, so this is kind of a cool opening from VirtusPro.
Yeah, I really like it. You always want to pressure yard in the beginning. Like, you can just run into main and you're inside of A in like the matter of 3 seconds. So, and that's the problem with Nuke. Like the seat is just have too fast rotations, and a TK coming up here from Storm.
Yeah, that's going to leave just 2 players left. Desi of which is on 21 health. Not going to be all that helpful against 4 players. Byali is there, ready by the vent exit. And Storm and desi have to make their way past each of these choke points. And VirtusPro, they know what's up. There's 30 seconds left. They are completely committed now to the lower site. Fast rotation here for VirtusPro. They're all going to be ready to deal with this push as it comes in. But eLevate, again, if they just get some damage done here, that's going to be exactly what the Doctor ordered. Oh, just getting away in time. TaZ survives, and that's only 1 man down. And as you said, that's pretty key.
Yeah, and eLevate has to answer this yard aggression from VirtusPro. And that's the thing that's so awkward about playing T on this map. Is if the Sieges just go aggressively, like you still have to take the yard. And they stack it with 3 people, it's like, what's your option as T? You can't go A, because they would just run straight into main as well.
It's definitely pretty awkward. And it's too risky to kind of counter strat it and try to like rush A straight away if you don't have a good set play, and that takes time as well. So yeah, it's kind of a hard situation, that's for sure. And we are going to see that VirtusPro are going to give it up a little bit more easily this time around. Again, they've got the aggressive smoke just to slow down some timings for eLevate on the outside area. eLevate actually have a P90 on Storm. I wouldn't say that P90 is the best weapon in the world on a nuke. You're not going to see that too commonly. He's doing outside with it as well.
Especially as T.
This is kind of nuts, but Snax has a gap through the smoke, spots some players. Oh, the spray comes in. 2 players are down. eLevate have lost 3 men getting down into secret. That's a huge, huge loss. And pasha's sneaking back, and it's going to be another frag for him. He finds the bomb, and VirtusPro have cleaned up this round pretty excellently. TaZ finds the last frag, and 2-3 is now the score on VirtusPro. They've broken the economy of eLevate. They finally are on an eco. And the worst of it should be over for now for Virtus.
Yeah, eLevate is in a really awkward or bad position right now, since VirtusPro can afford, even if they lose this round. I think eLevate is doing the right decision here. Just going for the eco, they know if VirtusPro is going to have a bank. There's no way they're going to break it.
Okay, so what kind of play do eLevate have in store? This is the thing about Nuke, is that, well, you can't do anything to start the round as a T. Like you can't. You can't. There's smokes everywhere. You're gonna be running through choke points. There is nothing you can do. You got to wait until those grenades do disappear. And that will, teams want a faster pace. It has to be outside. Well, the ZTs understand that that's a potential option for you. We've got a creep outside, and desi cannot find the kill. And they are just poking all over the place here, and looks like they are going to get cleaned up. Neo defending ramp. He's going to make the call to a teammate. However, his teammate Pasha goes down immediately. But Neo should be okay to get some frags, but no, Xp3 actually takes him down. This is some good damage so far. 2 players dead, minimal investment from eLevate. They've picked up an M4. What other damage can they get done here? Another potential chance for a frag, and the fire does the job. So that's 3 players down now. This is actually turning into a great eco for eLevate. VirtusPro, this was a round they needed to establish their economy. They will get the round, but losing 3 members certainly hurts.
Yeah, that was 3 really important kills from eLevate. I mean, every eco you have as CT on this map hurts so much. And yeah, let's see what eLevate tries to do. But I think if Virtus is still going to go at aggressive yard, I think eLevate should try to go ramp first, just force the rotation.
I do believe Neo's picked up an AWP, and he is usually playing ramp, and I would expect if there was an open one of these players, if it was going to be outside, it would be pasha probably. So Neo's going to try to lock this down, and you don't see... teams don't play ops on ramp a huge amount on the Nuke of recent months, so it's not something you necessarily expect in the European scene all that much.
Like, the way to use it is you can only use it 1 round.
Yeah.
And there's you can get a free pick because terrorists might be like, oh, he's not even smoking, I will just try to kill him, and he's just waiting there with an op. And he might even give the op to Pasha the next round. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. That's actually a really good point. And eLevate, they want to get the wall of smokes going outside just to get the pressure. They don't even need to push behind it. It's just that added pressure information. They are indeed getting some fragging happening as Snax is going to basically get one frag onto Xp3 as they move into the upper bomb site. Trace coming in though, not looking too shabby here for eLevate. It's a 2-on-2, now all onto desi. He's got to make this happen. Byali picks up an AK, found on the floor, and a desi will go down. Another round there for Virtus, but it was another expensive one. They will hang on to the AWP, but you can really begin to see how this is affecting their money. It's only Byali with any cash now.
Yeah, and the crucial frag there was Snax getting that pick on yard. They wanted to just force the rotation from Virtus to make them 1 guy on A, go down the vents. Didn't happen. Snax took the guy, took the information on yard, and as you can see, the A bomb site was pretty much stacked.
I really like that round from them because the investment of $600 for those smokes to cause a rotation to get an easier situation on a frag. That's the kind of small place you can. That's like a low investment that can be a huge difference. And this is going to get cleaned up pretty effectively, it would seem, as they wanted to go for open challenges. But yeah, if eLevate have that level of fort, that bodes pretty well, to be honest. We might see some other cool plays out of them yet.
Yeah, I agree, and that's the way you have to play TO Nuke. You have to force the rotations. You have to either push yard. We're gonna see an op here from Xp3. Let's see if he tries to utilize it on yard. But yeah, as you said, you have to force the rotations either by pushing ramp or pushing yard.
Okay, so Xp3 going straight for it now, and this smoke has been happening every time. And you can see how painful that is. It gives easy control, and look at this. Snax gets positioned there behind T-Red, and he's going to be creeping up, gets spotted by Xp3. They read it. They know that VirtusPro have been making these aggressive moves. Pasha, will they anticipate him being there as well? Gets the spray, and that's Xp3 down. AWP is out of play for now, unless somebody picks it up. But TaZ is going to spot essentially the lurker who's just sitting in lobby in Rocker, who could capitalize on any rotations into yard now from VirtusPro after losing Snax. But it is going to be a 4-on-4. 4-on-3 now in favor of VirtusPro. Neo going to get caught though. Trade comes in, and eLevate have outside.
Yeah, and one for one trades. They have ramp as well. This is a perfect chance for eLevate to take around now.
Okay, so it's going to be interesting to see, because VirtusPro, they can rotate quickly. Pasha's on ramp. He's going to be peeking up. Desi's got the angle, gets the kill as well. And now it's looking so good here for eLevate. They just have to close the round together. They've regrouped now into ramp for a 3-man push into the lower bomb site. TaZ and Byali going to be working the vents position. TaZ out the back now, circling around towards the control room, looking for an angle, and finds the bomber. Time is ticking away. 20 seconds left to make that plant. It's all on Rocker now. VirtusPro saving this round. He's got to get the bomb planted though. There's no escaping that crucial fact, and it's going to be TaZ to capitalize, and VirtusPro using the clock to their advantage there.
Not even getting the bomb down. If they buy this round, it's going to be an awkward buy. And that was so close for eLevate. They had a really good opening, just trading 1-for-1 on yard, getting into that 3v3 situation. But it was just VirtusPro making the right decision. You saw them dropping down the vents before. And you can see here we're showing that they did decide to buy, but they don't have a lot of nades.
And the interesting thing there is that we haven't seen the AWP go to Pasha yet. And this might be a great round for that. Now that essentially the previous round they opened it by Snax's aggression with the rifle getting caught out, now would be a great time to mix it up if eLevate were trying to overcompensate. But we can see that Neo's AWP is still quite potent. Picks up a kill there towards Radio. He's got support as well if they are to rush him. I think they really want... He's really baiting hard here for, I believe it's Pasha. All the smokes again.
They should just walk through the smokes now. I don't think there should be a gap.
Max is going to find Rush, but he will not win that duel. Pasha's pushing here, wants to try to clean things out, and he's going to get that frag. Really crucial one from Pasha there. And he is rotated to the heaven area. But eLevate, they're moving towards lower now. eLevate are doing eLevate are very mobile as the T side, and that's really important. So definitely kudos to that. But can they make this work? They do have Byali there in the corner of the bomb side. That's a really awkward position. Pasha's going to be able to take down 3 players for the 4K, and as they try to switch for the upper play, and again, it's cool how mobile they are. How do you feel about that one? Because they all get caught as they were coming up the vent there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so hard as TO Nuke. Like, you can get... Like, they were in a 3v4 there. Like, I even think you can get into an advantageous position, having like a 5v4, 5v3. It's just so hard to get down the bomb on the actual site, because the CTs will rotate so fast.
And it looks like we're going to see exactly the same round, almost, as the last eco that they threw outside. But they just charge in to see what damage they can do, and it's going a little bit better. Oh no! Okay, I thought that was an HE for a second there onto Desi, but it's Pasha getting the frags anyway. So yeah, eLevate are going to get cleaned up. Just Rush left with a Tech 9. He can really be patient if he wants to, run down the clock a bit, see if they'll push him, but no easy engagements for him. You can even wallbang him here. There we go. So 8-3 is the score. VirtusPro looking quite strong at the moment as eLevate are now with loads of cash. They can get the AWP back in play on Xp3 and see what they can get done.
Yeah. And look at the money on VirtusPro, 16k on Byali in the beginning of this round. This is a bank that is going to be hard to break for eLevate.
Okay, so Xp3 is on the AWP. They've got lots of players towards outside here. They're going to put the pace on. They've got the wall of smokes set up here again. Xp3 going to toss his one as well. Here we go. VirtusPro going to read this. They've got 2 men outside, Bieliński and Snax already. Snax still on T-Res, spamming through the smoke, gets the kill onto Roca. That is really awesome there for VirtusPro. That's going to slow things down, but somehow Xp3 gets caught with a flash, but still gets the kill anyway. VirtusPro, they are still in good stead though to keep hold of outside. They are making efficient trades. Rush is on 18 health. Desi's now gone down to Byali as VirtusPro completely destroy this push outside. Now can they get Rush down there? He's going to get taken down and the bomb is stuck. Xp3 coming back up for the frag. Takes down TaZ. 2 more players to find though. Oh, just barely whiffs the shot onto Pasha. But it's going to be the round again for VirtusPro.
And it's just so smart play from VirtusPro. As soon as they see the wall of smokes on yard, they threw double Molotovs to answer it. And it basically means eLevate can either run through it, lose a ton of HP and probably die to the Virtus players, or they can wait, which means that their smokes is going to disappear and they won't be able to have a wall on yard. So it's like a lose-lose situation. It's
like a nice way to mitigate the damage of... Because if you overreact, if they do actually push it, then that's great. But if you underreact and they take outside, so it's like you get the information. It's delayed. You get the information because they delay for just long enough. It's super awesome. The theory behind that. That's really smart. That's super smart.
Yeah, exactly. And there's basically no risk involved because they're so close to A, still playing there on, next to the T-Red.
The investment is really nothing compared to the fact that or if you weigh it up against the fact that it makes the round safe for you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very cool stuff there from VirtusPro. And outside again is the order of the day as they just charge down now. They got the wall of smokes to cover them, and this time they're going to get down without losing anybody. And it's been a while since this has happened. They have a lot of nades left. Snax is going to be able to take down Xp3, however, on the outside. You can see him there sitting in the garage, able to pick one off as they go down. But they still got 4 players, so they can make this work. Loads of nades. The problem is, again, fast rotations, and VirtusPro know that they're down there. And they know that there's a lurker around lobby as well. But okay, he's dead now too.
Yeah, and Pasha is in toxic. There's just nothing they can do.
He does get caught just a little bit too slow on the first shot, but does pick up the second. It's so hard for them to get anywhere close to this bomb site. And 10-3 now the score is eLevate. They've had some close rounds. They've had some great ideas. And you can see the theory behind it is very respectable. But closing the round against VirtusPro is another thing entirely.
Yeah, they have that one round where they traded 1 for 1 on yard, which is always a good thing as CT, or T, sorry. But like after that, they've just been demolished. And we see like half forced buy here. They're just buying so they can buy the last round, which makes sense. And maybe they should just try to like take ramp first or something, because yard is not working, obviously.
Absolutely, and they've got the Tech 9s out here. They're looking for maybe a faster pace, but this VirtusPro are probably the best team when it comes to the usage of the fire. They are so smart that you can see in the many ways that they've been using it outside. Often, you don't see teams do that very often, but VirtusPro, you can see how well developed the strategy is. You can see the theory behind it, as Threat was explaining, and so far it's looking pretty good. And they're even pushing for these frags at the moment. They're confident. Their economy's in a good place. They can get a little bit more frag hungry if they really want in spots like this. And 11-3 will be the score, but crucially, eLevate did pick up the pistol, and they do have those 3 rounds. So there is some comfort in that, I suppose. Kind of.
Yeah, kind of. The thing is, VirtusPro is known for having a really strong T side on this map. So, yeah, I don't know. If eLevate take this round, take the pistol, maybe they can make something happen, but in the fashion of how these rounds has played out, is just VirtusPro is just so dominant.
And now we have a mix-up from them as well. Snax is going to be, on the AWP and Garage, and he's been playing close with the rifle on the T red area. So now they're going to have a stronger defense on ramp and on the inside, and they can give up outside a little bit more. Snax going to get completely smoked off. We'll have to reposition a little bit, but he's actually just sticking to the Garage there. Trying to spot through the tiniest gap in the smoke, and maybe there's a bad call, I don't know, but Xp3 gets in main for free. Rush going to respond with a frag as well onto TaZ. That's going to put eLevate in a bomb plant situation. Now, desi goes down, he's planting in the smoke, wasn't good enough though. Xp3 does get the trade, but things are going to be really hard now as Snax is going to be right there on main. Neo's up top, he misses the shot on Xp3, I don't believe it. That bomb is now ticking away, so they did get it down in the end. Rush on a one-on-one, can't take down Snax. Xp3 all on him. He's got 38 health against the 14 of Snax. He knows exactly where the nade is, the bomb is, and that's going to be the round there for eLevate. 4 on the board, that's not too bad actually, in your regular game of Nuke. But again, as you pointed out, it is VirtusPro after all. But there are lots of rounds where they had some good chances to close it, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree, but just the way VirtusPro won the last 6 rounds that they won, I have a hard time seeing how eLevate can come back from this. They just looked so much better, and I like the idea there, the last round from eLevate. Just throwing that wall of smokes. Snax always expecting them to try to go down secret, and they just circumvent him and just run into main instead.
Yeah, it's really cool, especially considering the fact that Snax had been playing closer for so long as well, and they kind of read a more defensive setup from VirtusPro, I think. So yeah, they have a good sense of how VirtusPro have been playing. But back into the pistol round now of the second half. eLevate, they really need this one.
And 4 people down secret already. Nothing special there.
So VirtusPro pretty much going with a somewhat similar round, but just with less grenades than eLevate had. They got.
No way. I don't think eLevate knows that they're here. VirtusPro faked A, which meant that the Heaven guy watched A, and they just ran down without anyone seeing them.
Now they're going to know for sure that the nades are going down. Rocker's going to get a headshot onto Pasha, but the bomb is going to be planted. And this is much easier, but again, there's no nades left at this point. VirtusPro used all the grenades getting into the site and getting down into secret. So it's going to have to be straight up pistol duels. Here comes eLevate, and it's not looking so good for them. It's going to be 2 players left here for VirtusPro as a pistol round goes to them. And yeah.
And that's so smart by VirtusPro. They only had one guy in lobby, it was Snax. He threw a decoy towards ramp, blew up the door with a nade, smoked main and threw flashes out A. Like, of course your reaction from having is going to be to rotate to A and try to help. And during that time, there's like this window where you can run down to secrets without like anybody seeing you, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, really smart stuff, indeed. And now eLevate are in a really, really sticky situation. We do have the buy up from them. They're going to have the pistol armor, or in the case of Rocker, MP9 armor, which is pretty cool actually. But VirtusPro, again, they are going to be very wary of these close range positions. They know that eLevate are going to be strong there. They're going to be playing for the close range engagements. That's what gives eLevate their kind of the best chances to make frags in those kinds of engagements. And they are making their way back towards ramp. Trying to stick together, and again, that's definitely a good way to play things. They are Molotoving things, being super safe, trying to make sure that they can't get annihilated by any stacks or sneaky trade spots, and moving together. Look, all 5 down ramp, looking for that bomb plant. And we've got eLevate. They know what's going on now. They've got players in position, but VirtusPro, they are so vigilant. They're checking every single spot. So methodical. Like eLevate can't quite find a way in just yet. Peek out, does take down a frag. Finally, Snax will fall, but 7 HP left on Rocker. Here, desi trying to spam wildly with that 5-7. Doesn't happen. VirtusPro pick up the rounds, and it's going to be a full eco for eLevate.
And that was just a textbook anti-eco from VirtusPro. They did everything perfectly. They utilized all their nades, saved the smokes for the B side so they can smoke window and long, checked every corner onto B, and just planted the bomb. It's just the perfect round from Virtus.
Indeed, and it's going to be really hard for eLevate to be in a situation like this when VirtusPro, if they win this round completely cleanly, they're going to start really establishing that economy. And there's not many rounds left anyway, so 3 more, and then VirtusPro are going to go away with the victory here and move on to Cobblestone, their map choice, a map that they're amazing at, and a map that a lot of NATs struggle to even find practices on.
Yeah.
So.
And I just want to state that there's some kind of error with the score right now. The score is not 13-11, it's actually 13-4.
Yeah.
As you can see there on the scoreboard.
Okay, so they've lost no one so far. And from eLevate, I mean, I imagine we'll just see their very default round here in the following one. But the problem is that when you lose that pistol, you don't really have the money to play the proper round. You have to buy, but you don't have all the nades. If you get an AWP, you'll not have it unless you full saved both rounds, which I don't think that. Yeah, that wasn't the case. Then you're glass cannon and you got no nades. So what the hell do they do?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking at you. You're like nodding your head. Like,
no. There's no option.
There's no option. There's no survival possible.
Yeah, but probably one of the maps where it's the least important to have an op.
Yep.
Like, you're just going to get smoked off anyway, probably.
So 2 more rounds here for VirtusPro. Winning this one would force eLevate to eco, and it would already put them on map points. So VirtusPro, they win this round. They're looking very good to take map number 1 in a fast fashion. eLevate, they're going to play aggressive outside. Now, they want to get with the gamble straight away. They want to shut down VirtusPro before they get themselves out there on yard, and that's exactly what happens. Catching VirtusPro at the perfect timing with nades in their hands, and now they're only down to 3 players. eLevate going to fall back into more safe positions, and Snax is going to find his way down secret in all the madness down the vents, and he actually gets 2 kills here. Really awesome stuff there from Snax. It's going to make life very strange now for eLevate, who've been moving a lot in these CT setups. They have upper, and they have a good feeling of what's going down on lower.
Looks like they're going for the A push.
Rush up on the ladder here, so they have really good positions here for upper. These nades have to be really strong from VirtusPro. And that smoke is going to go down. They're going to fall down the vents under the cover of the smoke. Rush is in position though. He's got to stop the bomb plant. He's caught in a reload. There comes the spray. He's not going to go down just yet, and he will get the frag onto TaZ. Somehow he makes it happen. It's all on Neo, who's fallen back to the control room. He picks up the one-on-one against Rush. Now Storm knows exactly where he is, but he's going to be playing with the door, and this is just ridiculous. And Neo is going to go down the jump spray. And he's going to have more than enough time for the defuse.
Yeah, and I mean, first weapon round, it goes down to 1v1, not looking good for eLevate. And I mean, it was a smart move going aggressive yard, trying to catch VirtusPro off guard. But you can't really rely on like crazy strats on CT. You have to rely on the standard play, and it being so solid that you can like pick up like 10 rounds.
Right, right. Yeah. That's kind of what I assumed. That's one of the reasons why I assumed they picked this map, because like, well, we play Nuke the same against every team because that's the nature of Nuke. You just have a strong defensive setup. You read the map well and you rotate correctly, and there's a strong game. It's almost probably one of the easiest maps to have a strong default on. But fast plays here from eLevate on outside again, but they are outgunned. But still, it doesn't matter. The FAMAS coming into play here. Xp3 picks up a double, and the auto shotty indeed on Roca sitting in the hard area, and they pick up the round. Just that super fast aggression, it was exactly the same in the previous round. And the thing is though, VirtusPro, they got so many rounds that they can really mess with eLevate.
And we're actually gonna see them by now, and I can understand this. 4 people died 2 rounds ago for eLevate. Last round 3 people died, or sorry, 2, which means they can still force eLevate to an eco. I mean, it's so crucial, like, if you go over 1 kill, it like changes everything, because then you have to drop 2 weapons instead of 1, and all of a sudden 4 people can't afford, instead of only 2.
Okay, so I'm still anxious to see the auto shotty come into play. This would be a round where it could work. Look at him there. Okay, so Xp3 is outside. He's the only man with any contact outside, any idea of what's going on, and he's going to already spot pasha's challenge. Tech9's not going to do too much. He's got Rush there as well to help him out. And they have outside, they have a lot of players out there now, but they can't really compete on these ranges. Now TaZ is out there with the AK now, trying to get the picks. He's not going to spot anyone just yet.
Yeah, Virtus is just looking for picks, and Snax getting 1. I do think they know they can't actually win this round, but as long as they get 2 frags, they will be happy. And there's the second one. And this third one as well.
Okay, that's going to make things a little bit weird. Neo still has well, Janusz not going to count for much now. He's already got 2 kills, almost no health left on him. Now, the bomb recovery mission has begun. Picks that one up. There's not very much time left. 20 seconds left on the clock for them to make a play. Already making a lot of noise outside. They just got to go for it right now. Snax is going to go for it. The trade is not going to happen. And it's going to be desi to pick up the double to secure the round. But like you said, 3 kills is a massive. And they are playing on the razor's edge at the moment. Any mistakes from eLevate. And you could argue that already losing 3 players is going to hurt them massively.
Yeah, VirtusPro is happy about that round for sure. Like, that was more than they expected, I think.
Okay, so 14 rounds for VirtusPro, 7 for eLevate. Such a long road to climb. And they're all using M4A4s actually. No one's using the silenced M4, interestingly. Not sure if I've seen a team that's full, like all of them have M4A4, but it's possible that it's just they loaded out for the map specifically as well.
I don't really agree with this, especially like if you play the A site or the B site for this matter. Like the extra second you get with having the silencer is just so good on Nuke, because there's so many positions you have to check as.
Indeed, it's quite a shock to see that kind of play from them, but VirtusPro, the wall of smokes outside, and desi is the point man here in secret.
Oh, he just missed him.
Oh, but he spotted one, goes for the challenge, but byali wins it, and he doesn't even know if there's 2 there. That's a pretty big deal at the moment, because he'll call 1, that's all he's probably saw. The death cam was being faked, and now we have eLevate moving in for defense here, and wow, it's really good. They got 3 players with excellent crossfires going on here, and now it's just down to byali and pasha. eLevate with good positions to quickly rotate. And it's, oh dear, pasha gonna blow up byali.
And the funny thing is them only seeing one down in secret actually helped eLevate, because I think VirtusPro thought that eLevate saw 2 guys and that they were going to force the rotation. But since eLevate only saw 1, they still kept 3 people close to ramp. And then they went out ramp and there were 3 people.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess if they would have seen more, they would have maybe rotated more down.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's pretty nice indeed. That's quite funny actually. But again, you know, VirtusPro so far ahead. They got lots of money bonus to play with now as well, and we can see that they're using that. They're in a situation where they can just buy every single time. That pressure on, got loads of Molotovs, loads of Tech 9s, and that is a lot of Molotovs for a T side here. And desi's going to be completely charged down by so many players from VirtusPro. He's going to see at least 3 there, at least 3 or 4 potentially, as they make their way down secret into the control room, into long. And VirtusPro, this is the key position to be holding here, this control room area, to make sure that you can get that bomb planted securely, fall back to it. The frags are going to go the way of VirtusPro as well, so they've ticked all the boxes at the moment to get this bomb down safely and get a nice setup around it to prevent this retake. Rush goes in though. Not going to find all that much just yet. Does catch off Neo. Wasn't looking the right way. Storm actually in the confusion is going to pick up byali as well. That's a 2-on-2 all of a sudden. And wow, Rush is going to swing around, take down pasha from control room. TaZ all alone now, trying to get the frags happening, but it's not going to work. Rush is going to save eLevate. VirtusPro can't quite seem to get that map point, but they lost 4 players on CT side again.
Yeah, that was VirtusPro's round for sure. They had 4v2 after plant. The bomb was down as well.
Yeah.
And I really like what VirtusPro did with that round. They went all 5 down secret, and I like that. Most teams have like 1 guy in lobby, just playing the low kind of lurker role. But having 5 people makes like you have to be able to trade bodies when you go out on the B site.
Yeah, I seen their information, like they didn't have quite the right people looking the right way, so maybe the communication a little bit chaotic in that moment, but eLevate, they hold on for another round, but can they hold on to this one? We've got a full buy thanks to that bomb plant. eLevate, they want those challenges outside again. That's exactly what they're getting. The trade comes in. It's a 4-on-4 now, with the bulk of VirtusPro still outside. And eLevate have given it up now, more or less. They've got some spots into outside, but they aren't competing for it heavily. VirtusPro bullying their way through. Oh no, byali TKing pasha this time. I think it's the other way around. And Roca able to get the shots down, almost sniping down with that AK up from heaven. Going to spot them going down secret, can make the call. And now Xp3, he's got a lot of work to do. They don't really have anyone in a good position to stop them from taking control room. So this could be on here for VirtusPro, potentially with 2 low players for eLevate.
Biggest problem is that the bomb isn't planted. They have to get that bomb down, and as soon as VirtusPro make the sound of them planting, I think eLevate is just going to push in. They're just waiting for that plant sound.
They have all the bodies to get the trades they need to win the round comfortably, but can they pick it up? There's an easy one for Snax. Where's the trade? Well, Storm is going to take down TaZ. Fine Snax. He didn't know where the shots were coming from, and another round for eLevate. They're up to 10 rounds now. They've got 6 back-to-back rounds.
Yeah, and risky play there, having only 1 guy on the B site. I always like to go for the... If you're on a 4v2, you should always just wait for the plant sound, because you then know 100% where 1 guy is, and he's obviously not able to shoot back at you. But yeah, nice play by Storm, winning that round. And
they are actually going to be pistoling here, and eLevate going to rush into this. Now, that is a crazy move. Perhaps expecting a buy, but those pistols are doing a very cost-efficient job of removing weapons from eLevate, and their money wasn't too great. VirtusPro, oh my god, what is going on right now? With the last bullet, Snax is going to find Storm's head, and it's a 1-on-1. What ridiculousness is this? We've got Snax now running back towards the bomb at the moment, with loads of time left. What just a completely weird round. Just I don't even know how some of these frags even happened.
I think that eLevate thought that they knew he went out the door, and I think they thought he went down the vents. So they were just like, let's just go out yard together. But he actually sneaked through the smoke and went out to main, and there's where the chaos, started.
Now that was really weird, because Snax just then threw a smoke onto, well, as far as desi understood, onto the upper site from the sound cue that he got, but he didn't rotate, he didn't bite the bait. But Snax is going for that plant. But desi, there's nothing more that he can do other than just wait at this point to get the confirmation. He's got the fast rotate up the vent if he needs. And the bomb is going to be planted there by Snax. He's got the main plant. He's actually going to be moving close to desi coming up here. Oh, desi's going to spot him, sprays him down, and eLevate are going to be in this still. VirtusPro, they took down 4 players, and they had no right to come anywhere near this kind of damage, basically. Just the pistol buy up some nades, and we can see how much that's been weighing on the money of eLevate, but they're just keeping their head above water at the moment on the money.
And it's actually 14-11 now, so eLevate is coming really, really close to actually making this a tie.
And this is one of the reasons why Nuke is actually awesome. We're seeing it right here, so... well, we might not see many more nukes, but we got Xp3 now on the AWP. And let's have a look, see what he can get done. Nice angle, but almost getting caught by Neo. Very lucky to actually be alive, to be honest. VirtusPro just killing the early time in the round at the moment. All those smokes down from the CTs.
Yeah, and VirtusPro really slowing things down here. I think they realize now that they really must take these rounds seriously, or else they can't lose this map.
And I'm pretty sure that they're going to be incredibly confident on the cobble, but still, they want it to be over on cobble. They don't want to risk anything. We already talked about how eLevate are very capable of providing the upset. And this was the map that they chose to do it on. But for them, if it's going to happen, it's got to be done here. We've got a really strong setup towards ramp at the moment from eLevate, but VirtusPro moving around towards main. They're going to get the upper play coming in. They are going to charge through the smoke here. Frags coming in. Roca coming in with 2 quick kills. Bomb still needs to go down here. eLevate looking fantastic. Snax gets eliminated as well. And another round going to eLevate. And this time it looked fantastic. Roca with 4 on the upper push. That went terribly for Virtus.
Yeah, just the rotation on this map. I mean, you saw them doing a ramp fake there, and it worked. eLevate had 3 guys on ramp when they went into A, but like you can over-rotate on this map. It doesn't matter because you can just go back to A through the ladder in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's really fast.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's nice try by Virtus trying to fake, but it's really hard on Nuke because of as we've been saying all this game of the fast.
Oh, that's awesome because it's really clear that pasha they put the AWP on pasha. They haven't shown an AWP outside yet. But they saw Xp3 AWPing in the previous round, even though he didn't get anything from it. So they put pasha there to say, okay, pasha, go and kill him. You know that he's AWPing you. You know that he's going to be there with an AWP. Go kill him. And he didn't manage to get it done. So now that's an early advantage for eLevate. Now where do VirtusPro go from here?
4K's full set of nades. Might go for an A strat here. If it's how Virtus usually play, they're usually always fake on Nuke. Smoke's coming in here. We'll see if they actually decide to commit to this push or they go back ramp.
Okay, well, so far we have some players moving through the smoke here, and not a lot of movement towards the upper side or towards ramp at the moment. They have Neo outside. It's a very disjointed kind of push onto upper. Perhaps trying to fake out eLevate indeed, but it's not really panning out for VirtusPro. They're losing everyone. Byali cannot get it done. And eLevate 1 round away from tying things with VirtusPro and potentially stealing away map 1.
Yeah, and just look how C-decided this is. It's
way more bomb plants though for Virtus.
There's a reason why this map is on its way out from the macro. I mean, it's like, what can you do as T? Like, I think like the best way to play is just going 5 people the same. Like, you shouldn't try to fake. You shouldn't try to have a lurker. You have to be able to just trade bodies like continuously and like get into that 1v1 and just manage to clutch it. The
map control is so important. Basically, it takes so much investment to get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we have the quick push outside. They are throwing 5 bodies outside right now. So maybe VirtusPro heard you there. Got the wall of smokes. I think they were. I'm not sure if they tried to get the 3rd smoke onto outer catwalk, but either way, they're all the way down there. eLevate with the fast rotate, ready to deal with it. Rush is trying to protect against any lurkers who would be pushing ramp a little bit delayed to catch that rotation down. And it's going to be control room now secured by VirtusPro. They're, again, ticking all the boxes to try to get themselves a successfter plant situation. Neo with a quick kill there. Able to plant the bomb is TaZ. Trying to plant it safely though. The bomb will go down. Now eLevate, they are down to 3 men. Xp3's on the AWP, but what does he do? Well, going to get the quick scope there in onto Neo, and all of a sudden, one after another, eLevate are actually ahead. 3 versus 2. Bomb ticking away. TaZ, he's on fire at the moment, has to back away from the door. They know he's there, but he's not dead, and that's massive, so important. They know he's there. He gets the headshot. TaZ, can he get more? No! It's going to be the defuse coming in from eLevate, and they somehow clinch it, just barely once again. 14-14, we're tied up. eLevate, they could certainly upset VirtusPro on map number 1 here, but there's still 2 rounds left in this half.
I think VirtusPro should go for the same strat again, going 5 people down secret. The last time they did it, they were in a 4v2 after plant.
Yeah.
Now they had a 5v3 after plant. I mean, it's just mistakes that they lose the rounds there in the end. Like the actual strat is probably the best chance they've had to pick up rounds.
Yeah, and even then it was actually kind of like 5 versus 2 because the guy with the AWP was completely smoked off. What the hell do you do with an AWP there on that position? And they try to charge him down. Hits the no scopes, but eLevate, they got Xp3 up on the Alcac. I don't think they've done this. Oh, and almost gets the double, but takes down Snax straight away. eLevate with an early round advantage. VirtusPro still committed to move down. They've got all the smokes outside. Nades coming in. They're all wounded at the moment as well. So eLevate with a huge health advantage, as well as the player advantage.
And we're seeing VirtusPro doing the same thing. I think they know that they have been most successful as just trying to trade bodies here at the B-bomb site. Elevated though. Oh, I think they saw him going into Toxic. But I don't think it matters really, as long as he just can delay the plant.
See how laboured he makes it for them, how hard it's going to be to get this bomb down. byali goes straight for it, and I don't know if eLevate are quick enough. Rocker's there, he gets the frag onto TaZ. byali does defend, and the bomb is ticking away. VirtusPro, 3 versus 3 now, but still low on the health, but hitting the shots. Rocker and Storm looking to save this one. They don't want to go into overtime against VirtusPro. They need to get this done here. There goes Rocker with the drop, and VirtusPro pick up the round. Now, eLevate, they will be able to
They're
put
actually
together...
gonna have a low buy.
They can put together something, but how are the nades going to be here? Not many FAMASes.
Now the mind games will begin between the teams. Will Virtus go for the same 5-man push to secret? Or are they going to think it's too obvious? Or is eLevate going to stack B? It's getting to that like rock, paper, scissors kind of point.
Okay, so, well, the start of the round is going to look the same, like it often will on Nuke. Now, VirtusPro, a lot of cash or nades to play with. They can still do the wall of smokes outside, but that's going to use all the nades, all the smokes but one, and that's what they're going to invest in. Both smokes going outside now. Neo, the pop flash there in case anyone was AWPing on the angle. That's like super safe play there to use a flash there. So we do have eLevate now. Still waiting for something. It looks like VirtusPro want the upper play. They are wrapping straight into upper. This is a great movement. They've got great control of the upper bomb site. Just desi and Storm left on the rotation. Coming in from main. desi trying to get the spray to work, but the fire is going to send him packing as we have Storm trying to move up the ladder, but with no distraction from desi. It's so hard to get up there. Going to try to use the flash. Distracts them for just a moment, but desi cannot get it done. 16-14 VirtusPro. They closed the round. They closed the first map, but that was a close one.
Yeah, going up to 14-14 and then losing the last 2 rounds. That must be really hard.
Oh yeah, I mean, eLevate, they're like, we're doing it, guys. We're doing it. But wow,
yeah,
that was a tough one.
I just think it came down to VirtusPro figuring out how to play and just keeping it simple, just throwing bodies at the B-bomb site, and the last round just going for the straight out A push. So, I mean, that was a great try from eLevate, at least.
It really was, and as you said, like you can see that VirtusPro all throughout the match they were kind of figuring out, okay, this kind of works, this kind of works. We saw that play where they, with the wall of smokes, you had the wall of smokes outside, and they just, I mean, we saw it on both teams do it actually, but they go in main expecting to draw the attention towards secret with the wall of smokes, because that's the kind of what you're feigning. It's like, well, the wall of smokes, so that I can get into secret. But yeah, that's how they closed it. So good job to them. We do have our analysts back, so let's see what they think.
Thank you very much, Dan. Hello. Hi, everyone. And yeah, we are back. Wow, you seem really tall compared to me. Look at me.
Maybe
I'm going up.
You going up?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm going up. That's a little bit better. And you're just taller than me as well, so that didn't make it any better.
Nope.
Okay, what a game, for instance, for start.
Mm-hmm.
That was incredible. Like, we weren't expecting that from eLevate, right? We didn't expect that kind of CT side. Let's walk through the first half first, though. First 3 rounds, eLevate win the pistol rounds, the eco rounds, but then they lose 11 rounds in a row or something like that.
Yeah, 10. They got
10.
the last. Yeah, 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last one.
How much composure do you have to be losing every round over and over and over again for 11 rounds and not feel like we're not going to win this, we can't come back from this?
They looked kind of down in the end, I have to say. And the thing is, they got off, as you said, to this very great start, getting the pistol round, kind of clean anti-ecos, and they were looking good, and they had the economy with them. And I was spectating behind them, and they had a lot of ideas, but nothing seemed to work. Like, kind of poor execution and just some lack of hitting the shots at certain moments made them like lose 11 rounds in a row. Getting that last round though of the T half could have been the deciding factor of this game. And not only they get that round and maybe a little motivation back, but going into the second half, they get completely faked in the pistol round. Like, it was insane to see. Snax throwing off the, in Denmark we call it the Russian fake. You would throw the nades into the door, you smoke mini, and you flash out. And they had like 3 guys just watching inside, while 4 VirtusPro members wrapped around to the exit and got down to the exit area without even being spotted. So that round was just like crazy. Great strategical work, obviously from VirtusPro, but again, lack of needing, they should have searched information. They had a guy in heaven who should have like wide peeked or something.
Yeah, I completely agree
Yeah.
with that. I mean, it's a great strat from VirtusPro, but it's still like so risky. I mean, they only need to see like 1 people going down secrets.
Exactly.
And
it's like way harder to execute then. So that's the big thing. And then VirtusPro throwing these 4-on-2, 5-on-3 after plan situations on B bump side. I mean, that's one of the bump sides where you have big advantages for the terrorists. So many positions to hide. Crossfire, it's hard to rotate throughout the vents. I mean, I was very surprised to see them throwing these rounds. And
do you feel like that was the fault of VP, or do you think that was eLevate playing well? Because there was a couple of rounds there where we saw the bomb down, and then they'd Molotov into Toxic, and they would win the round because they just had this feeling like they knew where everyone was, and it seemed like the communication was really good at that point in the second half.
And they were hitting the
credit
shots.
to eLevate.
So it was like they were doing all the right plays, hitting the shots, great movements, using the grenades to proper like just getting into the bump sites in a very good manner, like smoking off the right positions, coming out through the doors at the correct timings, and at that point they looked pretty strong. But as we could see, after winning 11 rounds in a row, losing 1 round, and they're having pharmacists in the last round said something about how close these rounds were, because it was 1-on-1s, 2-on-2s, and so on. Just very intense rounds.
They were holding on by the skin of their teeth.
They were,
you might say. Dan, I can't see you. Dan, hi.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going? eLevate, did they impress you?
I think with eLevate, I mean, again, we talked about it, they picked Nuke for the reason that they knew once they could get the TT sides going. Like, it's so standard. You can play the same way against pretty much everyone. It's about reading just very simple things on the map and just adjusting rotation and stuff like this. And they generally did a pretty good job. We know that they have good execution. There's a lot left to show for eLevate. The problem for me is that we all know that they could be a great side. But this is now where we're going to see the weakness of the fact that, well, VirtusPro, not only do they love Cobblestone, obviously they picked it for a reason, but they're really good at it. And what's worse, that in NA, they don't play it a lot. It's hard to get practice on it. So that's really the tough thing, and it might not represent eLevate as otherwise they could be represented on a Mirage or a Cash or an Inferno or even a Dust 2. So that's, I mean, the better teams are going to have a much wider map pool to play from. So that's just how it goes really in a competition like this.
Talking about Nuke, like you said, I actually want to throw something out to Thread, because I kind of feel that, as you say, 100% they picked Nuke because of the fact that they could start CT, they could get this going. But imagine if they actually started CT, got these 11 rounds and the pistol round like that, they would probably win it. But do you think that the reason why they got all these CT rounds was kind of because VirtusPro was lacking due to the big lead? What do you think about that maybe?
Yeah, it might be the reason. You can easily get into, like, you're getting too comfortable. Like, oh, we have 14-4, there's no way we're going to lose it. You kind of get into the mindset that you think the rounds are going to win themselves.
Yeah.
Like, we have 14-4, it's impossible. And then you're like, oh, we're actually Team Nuke, and we have lost six rounds in a row now. We can actually lose this. And you just start to panic instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you see that? Did you see that side of VP as well? Like, I know you directed that towards Threat,
Yeah.
but I guess that's how you feel as well, right?
I was scared for a second because they had like kind of shaky buys, some guy buying AK Kevlar alone and running around, and they were all very close rounds, so you can kind of understand why they did it. But in the end, you want a lot of proper buys and proper executions. But like Threat says, like when you're up 14-4, you just try silly things, and you're like, yeah, someone is gonna go and get a 3K and we're gonna win it. But in the end, it looked very, very, I don't know, shaky for VirtusPro, and I thought for a second that eLevate was going to run away with it.
As did I. So next up is Cobble, as you mentioned, Dan. So for people at home, and for myself a little bit, why is it that US teams, or North American teams, sorry, are not playing Cobble? Is it that they're not playing, just they don't want to play against each other? Is it not in their leagues? Why would this team, eLevate, be in this situation against a European team?
It's just the people just don't play it as much there. It's just not as prevalent in the leagues. The thing is that we have the majors here, and of course a lot more of the top European teams are going to go to the majors, and so they are going to play Cobblestone. And there's always a bit of resistance when it comes to newer maps, just generally speaking. So if you don't really have a reason to play the newer maps, because a lot of teams aren't expecting to go to a major necessarily. They need to win on their home turf, right? So they need to basically win on the maps that are most played in North America. And if no one's really using the major map pools as much, or if that's not really a motivation, then that's not an edge that they can gain, or they can always ban it out, right? So, but we know that with the top teams in Europe who are always going to the majors and everything, they all know that they are going to need to play a Cobble at some point. They know that if they want to have the best veto situation, they're going to have a pretty solid Cobble, or at least a Cobble that's, up to date, so, that kind of thing. So I think that's mostly the reason.
But with knowing these things, shouldn't the Americans kind of, without burning them, shouldn't they kind of group together and be like, okay, let's play a lot of Cobble and Overpass, and for the teams who then travel to the majors and to the European lands, they will actually stand a chance because the Europeans play it, but it's not like the Europeans play it like a lot. So they might actually have a small edge by playing it a lot in the America, but for some reason, like you say, they just don't.
In a perfect world, that's how it would happen.
Yeah, but it just doesn't.
They'd have to like all come together and be like, we're all going to work together now to beat Europe.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's very difficult.
It's not going to happen, apparently.
Yeah, what's going through the minds of VP now? Because obviously we spoke about in the first map where in the second half they may have thought that they'd won it. They were getting a bit cocky maybe. What's going through their heads getting into this second map now?
I think they're just so comfortable knowing that the American teams doesn't practice Cobblestone.
Yeah.
VirtusPro being probably the second best Cobble team in the world after Fnatic, and when they played it was overtime, I think. So maybe they can get too comfortable again. I mean, that's like the only real danger for VirtusPro. If they play to like their proper level, they should just win this like 16-3 or something.
That's the danger, isn't it, Dan? Don't you think like that could be going through their heads? Like we all think this, but
the thing
is that the fact that that's in their head, is that a bad thing?
I think that they're going to basically use this as a chance to even experiment a little bit, because we've seen like meta shifts. So one of the more fun things that was a bit of a meta shift was that VirtusPro kind of ahead a little bit for a while with Cobble, because as Threat pointed out, that Fnatic and Virtus were kind of leading the charge on how you play Cobble. And one of the things that they used to do is that they because again we're talking about Snax AWPing more, and we start to see it more with Cobble because he plays like the kind of A long position, and this is actually the side of the map where CTs can get aggressive, and so he was doing that lows and completely smashing teams by doing it. But then when people start to understand, okay, so this is kind of how teams can play CT side on the A side of the map, so we need to be careful of these certain timings, then Snax stopped doing it. But I wonder if maybe they'll just try to do some of these older style things from the older meta, just because it could work if the preparation's not there, or they're not up to date on the meta. So we might even see something more explosive or a bit more freestyle from VirtusPro, maybe.
Going to experiment with a few new tactics.
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to see that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm coming from a lot of underdog teams in these kind of scenarios, knowing how it is to just be under the pressure, and your mindset in these kind of best of three is normally that let's just win the first, let's win our own map, then we'll take the second with like, okay, maybe we're lucky, and the third one we have a good chance. Like when they saw the veto, and as Daniel said, they saw that Cobblestone was being picked, they knew that they kind of had to win that Nuke match because Couple was going to be like 19-10 in favor of VirtusPro. So, I mean, they're just going to be like, let's hit our shots, let's just try and feel the momentum, and maybe we'll be lucky. And to end up the thing about VirtusPro being shaky and are they going to be overconfident, I think that maybe after this showing, they're going to be like, okay, guys, let's not do the same. I hope for them at least, because it would be silly to do the same mistake twice.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing their T side, actually. If they have some like set execution, if they have any set smokes. Because if they don't, you really need those, especially like when you're pushing out on the B bomb site right now.
Yeah.
You really need to smoke out the connector so you can go out from the drop room.
Yeah.
If they don't have smokes, they just have to like push A and just hit 6 shots in
Yeah, I was actually going to make this exact point. I was going to say, like, if they're actually going into Cobble without any set plays towards B, that leaves you only one option of just going A. And so, because that's all you can do. That's actually why Cobble is, the new one is kind of cool, because it's got this weird dynamic where B is kind of like, well, the CTs just sit there, and they just like, have this almost static defense, because they can't push it, really. The most pushing you can do is maybe like a boost on Skyfall or something. That's about all the pushing you can do. But the A side of the map, you can push a lot, and you can push, and you can play really defensive. That's where you can, do crazy plays with CTs. But otherwise, that's the two dynamics you have. So either it's like you say, like crazy entries towards A, or the set plays. Now, what do they have?
But I kind of feel like there's some similarities between the two new maps, like Overpass and Couple. Both on Overpass A side and Couple. Like CTs already push aggressively, and just then they give the axis of the terrorists coming down, and they fall more and more back to the bump sides, and you have like more executions on the B bump side. I mean, you also have some on Overpass, not so much after the map change, but I mean they have some similarities which I actually kind of like. CT's pushing, like teasing a bit.
I love it as
Are
well.
they gonna get something? Okay, let's just fall back, guys. Time is running out. And A bump side and Couple is just very hard because it takes a lot of time to gain this map control and coming out through the things, because the new meta is that the TT smokes up the middle gate and you have to wait for that or you have to flash through. Either way, it's kind of shaky because either you lose a lot of time or you have to go through a smoke, and we all know how effective these smokes are in this game.
So before we head into the next map, at the bottom of your screen you can see !! Cobblers. You can enter an AWP Asimov giveaway.